Welcome friends to the Mathematics Made Manageable Mathematics video tutorial series prepared by M. Srinivasan, Training Associate Mathematics, KVS Z Mumbai. Reference material in all chapters of class 12 Mathematics is available easily to all the students. The students are not able to gather necessary help from this material as students need detailed explanation of the solution steps, recollection of concepts required for the solution at required places, tips to do problems with slight changes, tips to reduce errors. The above needs of the students is taken care of at this tutorial series. Important concepts and solutions to NCERT textbook questions in each chapter is prepared using PowerPoint presentation and the same is converted into video. The concept and solutions are supported by necessary narrations. The tutorial is only a supplementary material to students and it cannot replace the classroom teaching by an experienced teacher. Okay, the PowerPoint presentations with the solutions can be downloaded from the link given at the bottom of this video. The link to the PPT and also link to the PPT with the narration is given at the bottom of the video which you are watching. Welcome back friends. Mathematics video tutorial series chapter 4 determinants. We'll be seeing properties of determinants topic where we will first discuss the properties. Then we will do some problems of exercise 4.2. This particular exercise is very important because you may get a 4 mark questions from this normally. But we are going to simply use the properties of the determinants and we are going to expand a determinant or solve it. Let us see the properties. First property, the value of the determinant remains same if the rows and columns are interchanged. Be careful, rows and the columns, all of them should be interchanged. Have you seen in matrices, what is the name of this rows and columns are interchanged? Okay, you know that it is actually called the transpose. For all the rows and columns are to be interchanged. The meaning is rows to be changed into columns, columns to be changed into rows. We are taking one determinant now. You are seeing that based on their position, I have made it as A11, A12, A13. You know what is the meaning of it? First row, first column, first row, second column, first row, third column. For the elements in the second row are A21, A22, A23. Elements in the third row are A31, A32, A33. I am going to get one more determinant by interchanging the rows and columns. What will happen? The first row will become the first column. Second row will become the second column. The third row will become the third column. You are seeing over here A11, A12, A13 has become the first column here. A21, A22, A23 has become the second column. A31, A32, A33 has become the third column. The rows and columns are totally interchanged. If you do it and there won't be any change in the value of the determinant. The value of the determinant will be the same. What is the meaning of it? Therefore, if A is a square matrix, then determinant of A is same as determinant of A transpose. If you transpose a matrix, if you find its determinant, the value will be the same. For the second property, what we did in the first property, we changed every row and column. You may ask me, sir, what will happen if I want to change only any two rows? Or just I will interchange only row 1 and 2, or I will interchange only column 2 and 3. What will happen? If two rows or columns of a determinant is interchanged, the value of the determinant changes by sign. Very simple. Suppose if it is previously the original value was 10, when you replace any two row or any two column, it will become minus 10. Normally, this change will be made to make the determinant easy for us to expand or easy for us to do the calculations. we are taking a determinant now. You know the determinant is now defined with respect to its position a11, a12, a13 and so on. Now I am interchanging R1 and R2. I am showing it with that color now. A21, A22, A23 has become the first row. A11, A12, A13 has become the second row. R1 and R2 are interchanged. We are writing it like this. You have seen it already in that elementary operation of matrices. You have seen this kind of notations, that is R1 double arrow, both the side arrow to R2 means R1 and R2 are interchanged. What will happen now? We will get the delta 1, that is the new determinant, will be minus of the original determinant. So remember, when you interchange any two rows or any two column, the value of the determinant changes by sign. Let us go to the second determinant, so third property. If in a determinant two rows are identical, the value of the determinant is 0. Highly interesting. This will be highly used in some problems where you have been asked to show that the determinant value is 0 without expanding it. Everybody knows that if you expand it, you are going to get a value. If you get 0, you will tell that it is 0. But we are going to prove that the value of the determinant is 0 without expanding it. For that, this property comes as an handy. If in a determinant, two rows or two columns are identical. What is the meaning of identical? The elements are most probably same. Therefore, I am checking one determinant where R1 and R2 are identical. A1, A2, A3, A1, A2, A3. But the third one is C1, C2, C3. Here, the value will be 0. Okay. Sometimes what happens when you do some properties or some operations on rows and column, we will end up with this property that any two rows and columns are identical, and we will not expand it. We will mention this property and write that the value of the determinant is 0. This property is used to prove the value of the determinant whose value is 0 without expanding it. There are some questions in your exercise also, we will see it. Next property. If in a determinant, the element of any two row are multiplied by the same scalar, the value of the new determinant is k times the given determinant. Highly interesting. We have seen this scalar multiple of a matrix in basic operations on a matrix. The same way, if in a determinant, the element of any row, we are not going to multiply the whole determinant by that particular number. We are going to multiply only a particular row or a particular column. Be careful. In a matrix, when you multiply by a scalar, it will be multiplied with all the elements of the matrix. But in a determinant, we will multiply only to a particular row or a particular column. The value of the new determinant is k times the given determinant. I am checking this determinant now. You know what, as per its position, I have explained it. Now, let me multiply C2 by a non-zero scalar k. You know what is that C2? I am multiplying now. The A12, A22, A32 is multiplied by the same non-zero scalar k. Now, what is the connection between this delta 1 delta now? The delta 1 will be k into delta. Now, you remember this. This idea will be highly used for simplifications. You can think it in the other way also. When I multiply by a number, then that the determinant value will get multiplied. The same thing, we can use it in the same way, that from any row or any column, we can take a common non-zero number outside for our convenience. By this property, we can take out any common factor from any row or any one column of a given determinant. It is highly useful for us in doing some problems. If you see that 5 is common in the first row, you can take 5 outside. If you see 3 common in the second row, you can take 3 outside from all the elements of the second row. If you see 2 is common in the third row, you can take 3 from that. Please be careful. In a matrix, if you can take a common factor outside only if it is a multiple of all the elements in the matrix. But in a determinant, we can take out a common factor from any one of the row or any one of the column. Be careful. Okay. Next property, if in a determinant the elements of any row or column is made up of sum of two or more quantities, then the determinant can be expressed as the sum of two or more determinant of the same order. Have you seen the third column here? It is written as C1 plus lambda 1, C2 plus lambda 2, C3 plus lambda 3. Lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 are entirely different. Now we can split this determinant into two. First determinant A1, A2, A3, A1, A2, A1, A1, A2, A3, and the third one is C1, C2, C3, and in the second one it is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, but the third row is lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. You are able to see it here. The first determinant is containing the first two rows of the original, and the third row is the first element C1, C2, C3. The second determinant is the first row and the second row as such, and the third row is lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. This property is highly useful in splitting a determinant into two and then evaluating them for our convenience. Next property is very important. If each element of a row is multiplied by a scalar and added to the corresponding elements of any other row, then the value of the determinant is unaltered. Have you seen it in basic operations? Yes, you have seen it. You have added the elements with the elements of R1, a multiple of the elements of R2. In our matrix elementary operations, we extensively used it in finding the inverse of a matrix by row operation or column operation. The same thing can be done in determinants also, but here the highly interesting thing is when you do it, the value of the determinant will not change. We are taking one determinant now, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3, and R2 plus K R3 I am doing. That is, with the second row, I am adding K times the third row. It is coming now. B1 plus KC1, B2 plus KC2, B3 plus KC3. The second row is totally changed now. First and third row are unaltered. Now you will not get any change in the value of the determinant. You are allowed to do it. Normally we will be using it in the determinant expansion or making the determinant as per our convenience. Okay, again I am repeating. Here R2 is written as R2 plus K times the elements of R3. Corresponding elements are to be added. This property is mostly used to make entries in the determinant as zeros, which will be useful in expanding. We will be seeing it. Let us go to exercise 4.2. Using property of determinant and without expanding. That is very, very important. I am underlining the word without expanding. Prove that. The meaning is, if you use the property, then you can make this as 0 without expanding it by making use of one of the property that if any two row or any two column are identical, the value of the determinant vanishes. Okay. First, you are given one matrix now. It's a determinant now. In the determinant, the elements of any row is made up of sum of two quantities. Then the determinant can be expressed as the sum of two or more determinant of the same order. You are seeing the third column is written as x plus a, y plus b, z plus c. You can split it into two determinants now by taking x, y, z in the first determinant and a, b, c in the second determinant. Is it okay now? I think we have already explained it. Can you see the first and the second determinant now? In the first determinant, the first column and the third column are identical. In the second one, second column and the third column are identical. We are having one property. If in a determinant, two rows or two columns are identical, the value of the determinant vanishes. Therefore, it is 0 plus 0. The answer is 0. In the exam, you have to simply, no need to mention the properties in the bracket. You can simply write by a property, but you have to explain it properly. how you got the two determinants where the columns are shown identical. Therefore, the value of the determinant is 0. Let us go to the second question now. Using properties of determinant and without expanding it, once again a minus b, b minus c, c minus a, b minus c, c minus a minus b, c minus a minus b, b minus c is equal to 0. Okay. In each element of a row is multiplied by a scalar and added to the corresponding element. Value of the determinant is unaltered. We have to show that it is 0. If you do something we don't want it, that 0 should go to some other number. But remember, if I do this property, the value is unaltered. What I am doing now? I am adding R1 and R2 and make it as R1. R1 is now R1 plus R2. You add it now, A minus B plus B minus C. Therefore, you will get A minus C. B minus C plus C minus A, you will get B minus A. Then C minus A plus A minus B, then you know that it is C minus B. A getting cancelled. Okay. Now, the last column can be written as minus of minus of minus of, because you know that A minus C, C minus A. Therefore, A minus B is minus of B minus A and B minus C is minus of C minus A. Now, you know that you can take a common element from any of the row or any of the column. I will take minus 1 common from the third column. But the third column will become A minus C, B minus A, C minus A and minus outside. Now, what you are observing here? The first row and the third row are identical. We know the property. When two rows or two columns are identical, the value of the determinant is 0. Remember, using properties and without expanding to prove it as 0, we have to make some properties which is known to us, and final property to be used is any two row or any two column as identical, or in some cases if you do this property, any row or any column will become 0 automatically. Using properties of determinant and without expanding, once again this is a problem involving numbers 2, 7, 65, 3, 8, 75, 5, 9, 86. So many ways of doing this problem. You can make one as the multiple of the other so that any two columns are made as identical and all. But I will go for this type of doing it. Let me try to write the third column as some number as a multiple of the second column. For example, 789, 63 multiple of 7, 72 multiple of 8, 81 is a multiple of 9. Therefore, now you can split it into two determinant. First determinant with 63, 72, 81 as the third column. Second determinant as 2, 3, 5 as the third column. Now, by taking 9 common from the C1 in the first determinant, it will become 9 multiplied by 2, 7, 7, 3, 8, 8, 5, 9, 9. The second one is 2, 7, 2, 3, 8, 3, 5, 9, 5. Now, you are observing that C1 is C2 is identical with C3 in the first determinant and C1 identical with C3 in the second determinant. Therefore, both the determinants are zeros. Therefore, final answer is 0. This problem can be done in the other way also. That is, you want to make any two row and column identical. Here I have split it and then made two columns identical in two determinants. Using properties of determinant and without expanding, prove that 1 BC A into B plus C, 1 CA B into C plus A, 1 AB C into A plus B is equal to 0. Okay, now I am expanding the third column, AB plus AC, BC plus BA, CA plus CB. Now I write C3 as C3 plus C2. I am writing C3 as C3 plus C2. What will happen to it? You will add it. Then it will become AB plus AC plus BC, BC plus BA plus CA, CA plus CB plus AB. You take AB plus BC plus CA as common from C3. Now it will come out. Therefore, you will get 1, 1, 1 in the third column. Now we are very thorough now. The first column and the third column are identical. Therefore, the answer is 0. For AB plus BC plus CA multiplied by 0 is once again 0. No worry about it. For remember here what we have done is we have made one column having the same common factor, you have taken it outside to make the first and the third column identical. Using properties of determinant without expanding, prove that. The previous problem what we have done? We have told that after I have done properties and the determinant vanishes. But here by using this property we have to tell that it goes to a particular determinant which is 2 times. Little bit lengthy problem. I am taking the determinant. I am interchanging R1 and R3 because on the right hand side on the first row I am having APX, but in the first row of the left hand side I don't have APX, therefore I am replacing it. You know that when I interchange any 2 rows, the value will be multiplied by a minus sign. I have interchanged the first and the third row. Again, second and third row are again interchanged. If you interchange it, you know that what happened. Once again minus will become plus. Therefore, you got A plus B, P plus Q, X plus Y on the first, and B plus C and Q plus R, Y plus Z in the second. We are doing it because after seeing the right hand side A, P, X, B, Q, Y, C, R Z, we want it. But we have done it. Okay. Now we have one property that if the first row is made up of sum of 2 terms, you can split it into 2 determinants. I have split it now. A, P, X by taking it in the first row, first determinant, by taking B, Q, Y as the first row, that is the second determinants over here. I will evaluate both of them and I will add it, I will get the RHS. I am calling it as first and the second. Let me take the first. R3 minus R1. R3 is equal to R3 minus R1. So that A will get cancelled. Therefore, C plus A minus A, R plus P minus P, Z plus X minus X, you will get CR Z. Again, I will write R2 as R2 minus R3. R2 minus R3. So that the C will get cancelled and R will get cancelled and Z will go. Therefore, you are getting B plus C minus C, Q plus R minus R, Y plus Z minus Z. I got that first determinant now. Second determinant I will go for it. You write R2 as R2 minus R1. That B plus C minus B, C will be there. Q plus R minus Q, Y plus Z minus Y. Therefore, you will get CR Z. Again R3 as R3 minus R2. Then you know that C will get cancelled now. C plus A minus C, R plus B minus R, Z plus X minus Z. So you got BQY, CR Z and APX. And when you just look at this lambda 1 and delta 2, they are having same elements, but the rows are entirely the rows are not there. There R1, here it is R3, there R3, here it is R2. So again we will use the same property that when you interchange the rows one after the other, you can get the answer. For R1 and R3 I will interchange. Therefore I will get APX in the first row and PQY in the third row. Now you are seeing once again, you compare it with that. Okay, now only thing is now R2 and R3 are to be interchanged. R2 and R3 I am interchanging. Once again that minus will become plus. I got APX, PQY and CRZ. Now delta 1 and delta 2 are one and the same now. When you add it, you will get 2 times APX, BQY and CRZ. Very interesting problem where we are first splitting it and we are evaluating the determinants separately and adding it, you will get the RHS. Using properties and determinant and without expanding, prove that is 0. Okay, I think very interesting determinant. If it is a matrix, the whatever matrix it is, yes, you got the idea. I think this is a skew symmetric. It is a skew symmetric. I think the same problem we have done it by expanding also. Okay, let us do without expanding. I am writing R1 as C into R1. That is R1 I am multiplying it by C. You know that if you multiply any row by a non-zero quantity, the value of the determinant will not change. Therefore, I am getting 0 AC and minus BC. Okay. Therefore, I am multiplying and dividing it by C. Once again, R1 is written as minus B R2. R1 is written as minus B R2. Is it okay? Therefore, R1, R2 is multiplied by B and then it's subtracted from R1. Well, you know that it is a 0 minus of minus AB is plus AB, AC minus 0, then that is minus BC, then plus BC, therefore it will get cancelled, you will get 0. Taking a common from R1, I am taking A common, therefore outside already 1 by C is there, therefore it will become A by C now. You get BC 0. I think now you got the idea now. The first row and the third row are identical. Therefore, I got it as 0. Okay, remember that when you multiply any row by any constant number, then that value of the determinant will be multiplied by that constant. Therefore, we are dividing it by C. Simply multiply and divide by C also you can call it as whichever convenience. Okay, well, now here we have used two ideas. That is, one is multiplying it by a scalar and then operating R1 with a multiple of R2. Okay, now these are all very interesting questions which will come for 4 marks, where you will be asked to expand a determinant by using properties, and then the right hand side will be product of factors. 99% of the problem will be product of factors. 1 or 2 problems are there where it will be addition of some factors or a combination of some factors. On the right hand side you are seeing 4a square b square c square. I will give you one clue over here. Here what we are going to do is, we are going to get on the right hand side one factor after another by going on doing the operations. What are the factors are there on the right hand side? A square, b square, c square. We will try to get a square outside. Again the determinant will change. We'll get little bit changed. Then again we will try to get b square outside. Then the determinant will become very weak. Then we will expand it and then we will get that 4c square. Is the idea clear to you? Again I repeat, if the right hand side is a product of factors, take one factor outside by making use of row operations, whatever the property which you have seen. But this is actually very interesting question, because when you want to take a square from any element of a particular row, then the a square will come from all the elements of the particular row, because normally the expression which is given inside the determinant will be a cyclic expression. Let us see now. I am taking out a from R1, b from R2 and c from R3. So which will come out now? A, B, C will come out. Therefore, A has come out from R1, B has come out from R2, C has come out from R3. Once again, you take A from C1, B from C2 and C from C3. Therefore, already A, B, C you have. Therefore, what it will happen? A square, B square, C square into minus 1, 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 1, 1, 1, minus 1. Now, you can expand the determinant now to get that 4. But if you want to make some zeros inside and then expand also, well and good. I am writing R2 as R2 plus R1. For I am getting 2 zeros there. Very good. Therefore, already we have seen in expansion of determinants, we will try to expand the determinant which contains more number of zeros. Or we will expand now. One more we will do that. Again we were making so many zeros. R3 as R3 plus R1 and again we get so many zeros in the R2, R3 also. Now let us expand with respect to C1 because C1 contains two zeros. Therefore it will be a square b square c square multiplied by -1 into a determinant obtained by removing the first row and the first column. But remember, no need to write the remaining element because 0 into 0 into no need to write. Therefore this is a square b square c square into -1 into -4, for you got 4a square b square c square. Remember, without doing these two row operations also you can do the expansions, but remember, if you make so many zeros inside, then the expansion will be easy for you, but don't try to make so many zeros inside. Is it okay? Well, again 8.1, very interesting question, where you are on the right hand side, you are getting a minus b factor 1, b minus c factor 2, c minus a factor 3. Therefore remember, a minus b should come outside first, b minus c should come next. If you expand, c minus a will come out. Very, very simple. Now this a minus b, just by seeing it, a minus b should come. You remember that where a is there, where b is there, you subtract it. Is it okay now? Okay, let us try. How to get a minus b? If I subtract r1 as r1 minus r2, I will get 1 minus 1, a minus b, a square minus b square. I told you, if you get if you want a minus b from any row, other two elements in that same row also will help you so that a minus b will come outside, because these expressions are cyclic expressions normally expressed in determinate format. Therefore 1 minus 1 0, a minus b and a square minus b square, which can be taken outside from the first row. Now a minus b can be taken outside. A square minus b square is nothing but a plus b into a minus b. Now once again I want b minus c outside. Now how to get it? R2 minus R3, b minus c and b square minus c square I will get. The same thing. You will get b minus c and b square minus c square. From the second row, can you take b minus c outside? Because b square minus c square is b plus c into b minus c. Very good. You got it now. Now after this, now just let us expand the determinant now. Now when you want to expand it, remember that in the first column, you are having so many zeros, for you can expand it with respect to the first column. If you are not having so many zeros, if you are having an opportunity to make some more zeros, you do it, but without making much time, we can expand it directly now, because this is having the first column as two zeros, for a minus b into b minus c into 1 multiplied by, because that is the position of that 1 is a31, therefore it is positive, plus 1 multiplied by the determinant obtained by removing the first column and the third row. Okay, now expand it. I got b plus c minus of a plus b, that is nothing but c minus c. Automatically you got it. There is no problem in that. Remember that this is not one of the ways to do it, but at least remember the right hand side. If a minus b is there, try to get a minus b outside. B minus c is there, try to take b minus c outside. Again, the same problem. The previous problem was a cubic expression, but this is an expression which gives you fourth degree. A minus b into b minus c into c minus a into a plus b plus c. Now as such, you should have a minus b outside, b minus c outside and c minus a outside, and expand it, you will get a plus b plus c. But remember that the rule tells that you should at least use two operations to get marks in the examination. But don't try to do only one operation and then tell that, sir, I am very good in expansion, I will do it. Don't do that. Have expansion, use the properties more, so that the determinants will be very easy for you to expand. I am going for it now. I need a minus b, therefore c1 minus c2. A minus b and a cube minus b cube. A minus b will come outside now from the first column. What is a cube minus b cube? It is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square from lower class mathematics. Our a minus b comes out. 1 is there, a square plus ab plus b square. Now, what is the next factor there? B minus c. Therefore, I want C1 is equal to C1 minus C2. Okay, let us do it now. C2 is equal to C2 minus C3. Therefore, B minus C, then B cube minus C cube. C2 is changed now. C2 is C2 minus C3. Therefore, you got the second column changed. A B minus C and B cube minus C cube. The same thing. B minus C will come out from the second column. What is B cube minus C cube? It is B minus C into B square plus BC plus C square. Therefore, you are getting it now. A minus B into B minus C into that determinant. Okay, in the determinant, you are seeing that there are two zeros in the first row. Therefore, you can expand it with respect to the first row. Therefore, I am expanding with respect to the first row. Remember, 0 into something no need to write, 0 into something no need to write, plus 1. Because the position of the third element 1 is A, first row, third column A, 1, 3, therefore positive. But I have expanded it. Therefore, you have to, you know that what should be done. You have to simply multiply that B square plus BC plus C square minus that. For I am expanding it. BC plus C square minus A square minus AB. Now this to be done little bit factorization. That is square terms are to be separately written. BC minus AB plus C plus A into C minus A, because C square minus C square is C plus A into C minus A. From the first two term BC minus AB, B can be taken outside. For B into C minus A plus C plus A into C minus A. Now you take C minus A outside, you will get A plus B plus C. The problem is over. Very simple question, but do it in a logical way. But don't try to expand without taking minimum 2 factors outside. The same question with a slight difference. The right hand, the given determinant now is of degree 5. X minus y into y minus z into z minus x into xy plus yz plus zx. Which should come out first? X minus y. Therefore, R1 minus R2. Now you got an idea now what should be done. Therefore, when you do it, x minus y, x square minus y square, yz minus zx, y square zx, z square, xy. Highly interesting. X minus y will come out from the first row now. X square minus y square is x plus y into x minus y. In that yz minus zx, z can be taken outside. Therefore, minus of that it will come. Be careful in that. Minus z will be there because when you take z outside, it will be y minus x, but I have taken x minus y outside. Okay, now what is the next one you need? Y minus z I want outside. Therefore, R2 should be written as R2 minus R3. Therefore, you are getting that R2 minus R3. Therefore, y minus z, y square minus z square, zx minus xy. Don't worry, automatically it will happen because I told you earlier, the expression given inside is a cyclic expression. When you do this, automatically it will happen. Therefore, y minus z I am taking out. Y square minus z square is y plus z into y minus z. When I take x outside from it, it will be z minus y, but I want y minus z, therefore it is minus x. I got this expression now. I can expand it, but if I get some zeros, it will be highly nice. For I am writing R1 is equal to R1 minus R2 because there are 1 sitting there. Therefore, it will become 0 in R1. X plus y minus z, therefore x minus z. Minus z minus of minus x, therefore minus z plus x. Now, this is the expansion, this thing which you got by taking z minus x outside now. Now, z minus x can be taken outside from the first row. Therefore, x minus z, therefore it is minus 1. Then once again, x minus z, therefore it is minus 1. Well, I have taken z minus x outside because it is given in the question. You can take x minus z outside also. Finally, you can take that minus sign. Will be adjusted afterwards. Once again, I will write C2 minus C1 to have more zeros. Okay. Now, therefore, the second row will become 0, minus 1 of minus 1. Y plus z minus of minus x, therefore x plus y plus z. Z square minus xy. Now, I think it is more than enough for us. We can respect to the first row. We will expand it now. Therefore, it will be minus 1 because the third row will be positive, therefore minus 1. multiply this simple expansion of 2 cross 2 determinant. I am cross multiplying it. That is 1 multiplied by it minus z multiplied by that. Then minus 1 multiplied by z square I am expanding. Z square getting cancelled. For minus xy minus zy minus zx multiplied by minus 1. Therefore you will get xy plus yz plus z. Very simple question. But if you do it in a logical way, that is by taking x minus y outside, y minus z outside, z minus x outside and then expanding it, you will get the last factor automatically coming out of that expansion. Okay, let us see question number 10, subdivision 1. By using properties of determinant, show that the determinant is equal to 5x plus 4 into 4 minus x the whole square. These types of problems are very interesting because the expression given inside the determinant is nothing but a cubic polynomial expressed in terms of a determinant. On the right hand side, they are the factors of the cubic polynomial, 5x plus 4 and 4 minus x the whole square. Now this question can be given in the other way also, that determinant is equal to 0. Solve it if one of the root is x is equal to 4 or one of the root is x is equal to minus 4 by 5. Highly interesting. If x is equal to 4 is a root, then you know that x minus 4 is one of the factor coming outside, you know that. And if x is equal to minus 4 by 5 is one of the root or one of the zeros, then 5x plus 4 is a factor for it by using factor theorem. Well, for this, let us go for the expression. You know that 5x plus 4 should come outside, 4 minus x should come outside, or x minus 4 should come outside, and 4 minus x should come outside 2 times. Well, let us go for this question now. I have seen it when I write R1 with as added with R1 plus R2 plus R3, I get 5x plus 4. For I am doing it, R1 is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. For I am getting 5x plus 4 everywhere in the first row. For the next step, all of you know that what should be done. 5x plus 4 should be taken outside. I am taking it out. 111 comes there. You are very happy when 111 comes in any row or any column. You will try to make so many zeros out of it. Or I will write C2 as C2 minus C1. Therefore 1 minus 1, 0. X plus 4 minus 2x is nothing but minus x plus 4, and 2x minus 2x is 0. For second column is having 2 zeros now. Good. Now I am going for C2 is C3 minus C1. Once again I want to make that 1 in the first row third column as 0 once again. Therefore 5x plus 4, 1 minus 1, then 2x minus 2x once again 0. Then x plus 4 minus 2x is minus x plus 4. Therefore so many zeros are there. Now here you can expand it and to get the final result. Or other way of doing this problem is you can take 4 minus x outside from the second column and the third column also. You can do it after expansion. Both are actually one and the same, will give the same answer. Okay, we got this determinant now. You want to expand it with respect to the first row. Before that we can take 4 minus x outside from C2. Or I am taking 4 minus x outside from C2. Then expand. Again take 4 minus x outside from C3. Where you get 2 4 minus x now. Now expand it with respect to R1. When you expand it with the R1, you know that you have to expand it by removing the first row and the first column 1 0 0 1. Where you are getting 5x plus 4 into 4 minus x the whole square. Now without taking that 4 minus x 2 times, when you expand it also you would have got the answer. You will get the expansion 4 minus x the whole square. But as 4 minus x is coming outside from these columns, we are casually doing it. Okay. Let us go to the next question, 10 subdivision 2. By using properties of determinant, show that y plus k y y y y plus k y y y y plus k is equal to k square into 3y plus k. And you are seeing that even the determinant is having a certain kind of pattern, so that you are getting on the right hand side like this. Okay, well, the same thing we have to right hand side is a product of some factors. Let us try to do it. When I add R1 as R1 plus R2 plus R3, I am getting 3y plus k as in the previous problem. Therefore I am getting 3y plus k in the first row. I am taking it outside. Therefore I am getting 1 1 1. Now all of you can do that. C2 minus C1 to make it as 0. Therefore 1 minus 1. Then y plus k minus y, y minus y. Again C3 minus C1 you make. For it will become 1 minus 1, y minus y, and y plus k minus y is k. Now very quickly you can expand it with respect to the row number 1. Therefore 1 multiplied by k0 0 k, you know that k square minus 0. Therefore it is k square, you got the answer. Very simple question, but remember that we are having a look at the right hand side. You need 3y plus k outside. For in that direction when you move, in that direction when you do the row operations or column operations and take the common term outside, then expand, you will get the answer. Okay, once again this is another question where right hand side is a plus b plus c the whole cube. The same thing, a plus b plus c should come outside 2 times and expand it, you will get the third a plus b plus c. I am writing R1 as R1 plus R2 plus R3 so that when I add I will get a plus b plus c. For I am getting a plus b plus c everywhere. Now it is a routine one you have seen. If you want a plus b plus c outside, you have to check that which row to be added, which columns are to be added. By taking a plus b plus c outside, I will get 1 1 1 in the first row. Once again, C2 as C2 minus C1, 1 minus 1, b plus minus c minus a minus 2b, and 2c minus 2c. We got from the previous one, that is a plus b plus c into this determinant. Once again, this C3, if you write it as C3 minus C1, then 1 minus 1, 2b minus 2b, then c minus a minus b minus 2c will give you the third column, 0, 0 and minus c minus a minus b. Now from the second column I can take a plus b plus c outside by taking minus n outside from inside, but it will become minus 1 in the second column, 0 minus 1 0. By taking a plus b plus c outside, because it is minus b minus c minus a. The same happens in the third column also. You can take from the third column a plus b plus c outside, you get 1 0 0 minus 1 now. Now can you expand it now? Very simple. Therefore you expand it with respect to row 1 for 1 multiplied by the determinant obtained by removing the first row and the first column, minus 1 0 0 minus 1. Therefore the answer is a plus b plus c whole cube into 1. Therefore it is a plus b plus c the whole cube. Okay, I have taken everything outside and I got one determinant where there is no entry other than 1 and minus 1 only. But this is one way of doing it in a simple way. Well, question number 11, subdivision 2. By using properties of determinant, show that the determinant is equal to 2 times x plus y plus z the whole cube. Here x plus y plus z should come out 2 times and expand, you will get x plus y plus z as the third one and you will get the whole cube. Here you are seeing that when I add the column 1 with column 2 and 3, I will get everything doubled, that is 2x plus 2y plus 2z I will get. Already you are having 2z there. If we add x with that, y with that, it will become 2x plus 2y plus 2z. For I will write C1 as C1 plus C2 plus C3. For I am getting 2x plus 2y plus 2z everywhere in the first column. So take it outside from the column number 1. For you will get 2 multiplied by x plus y plus z, 1 1 1 and whatever there on the right hand side. Now you got a very clear idea now that 1 1 1 is there, therefore they may be made as 0 somewhere. For R2 as R2 minus R1. Therefore R2 for 1 minus 1 0, y plus z plus 2x minus x is y plus z plus x, y minus y is 0. We'll move on. Okay, one more 0 you can make by keeping R3 as R2 minus R3 minus R1. For you got 2 times x plus y plus z. For R3 for 1 minus 1 0, x minus x 0, z plus x plus 2y minus y is z plus x plus y. Highly interesting. Let us take common x plus y by z from R2. That can be taken outside. For you got 2 times x plus y plus z into x plus y plus z. Now we got one more idea that x plus y plus z can be taken outside from the third row also. Therefore I am taking it from the third row. Now I got this 2 times x plus y plus z multiplied by the same, and I got a very simple. Now expand the determinant with respect to either row column 1 or row 3, whatever may be. I am expanding with respect to C1. For 2 times 1 multiplied by the 2 cross 2 determinant obtained 1001. Therefore that is nothing but 1. For you got 2 times x plus y plus z the whole cube. Once again, this is another very interesting question, where on the right hand side you are getting 1 minus x cube the whole square. You have to prove it. For 1 minus x cube the whole square. Okay, let us try it. I will write R1 as R1 plus R2 plus R3. I get 1 plus x square, 1 plus x square, 1 plus x square everywhere. Actually, we are going to look it in the other way, that 1 minus x cube is for that 1 plus x square is one of the factors. We are moving in that direction. So take it outside. For 1 1 1 you will get. You got the idea now? You have to write C2 as C2 minus C1 to make that entry as 0. Therefore 1 minus 1, 1 minus x square minus x. Let us start from the previous step. 1 plus x square multiplied by the determinant. Already we have made the second column element, that first row second column element as 0. Now let us try to make one more 0 now. C3, write it as C3 minus C1. Therefore in the third column 1 minus 1, with the first column it is 1 minus 1 0, x minus x square and 1 minus x. Now in the second column 1 minus x square can be written as 1 plus x into 1 minus x, and x square minus x can be written as x into x minus 1, and in the third column x minus x square can be written as x into 1 minus x, and there is already 1 minus x is there. Taking 1 minus x common from C2, you are getting 1 minus x comes out from C2 0, 1 plus x, and as you are taking 1 minus x outside, you are getting minus x over there. Again, from the third column you can take 1 minus x outside. It will become 1 plus x square multiplied by 1 minus x the whole square, and you are getting that bracket now. Well, let us expand it now. 1 multiplied by, and remaining 0 0, no need to worry about it. The determinant is 1 plus x minus x 1. Multiply it. You will get 1 plus x minus x square. Therefore you got 1 plus x square into 1 minus x the whole square, which is nothing but 1 minus x cube the whole square. Very simple question, but remember the 1 minus x cube is given in the question, but is nothing but 1 minus x into 1 plus x square. We'll go to the next question. 1 plus a square plus b square should come out now to get that right hand side whole cube. It is given now. First I will write R1 as R1 plus b R3. R1 plus b times R3. Then only I will get 1 plus a square plus b square, because I have minus b square. I want to add one more 2b square. When I add only I will get b square. Therefore I will get 1 plus a square plus b square, and when you multiply it, that 0 will be there, then minus 2b plus b minus a square b minus b cube. When you take minus b outside from the first row third column element, it will be minus b multiplied by 1 plus a square plus b square. Now you got the idea now? 1 plus a square plus b square can be taken outside from R1. Where I am taking it up R1 now, it will become 1 0 minus b, remaining elements are as such. Okay, we got this. We continue. Write R2 as R2 minus A R3 because we are having 1 minus A square plus B square. When you multiply the third row as minus A, it will become 2A square. Minus or minus will become plus. Therefore, 1 minus A square plus B square plus 2A square, we will get 1 plus A square. Same technique which we did earlier. Therefore, we will get R2 will become 2AB minus 2AB 0. 1 minus A square plus B square plus 2A square. Then 2A minus A plus A cube plus AB square. From the second row third column element, you can take A outside. A multiplied by 1 plus A square plus B square. You see, automatically it happens. For taking it outside from R2, now you get 1 plus A square plus B square multiplied 2 times left on the outside the determinant. Continue with this term now. Expand with respect to R1. 1 multiplied by plus 0 multiplied by, no need to write, minus B multiplied by. I am expanding. Simplification. Minus B into minus 2B is plus 2B square. When you remove the brackets, minus A square plus 2A square will be A square, minus B square plus 2B square will be B square. For 1 plus A square plus B square is multiplied 3 times, so you got the answer. Remember that 1 plus A square plus B square is a factor on the right hand side. It has to come 3 times. Oh, this is another interesting question where the right hand side is not a product of factors. It is 1 plus A square plus B square. We have to do something different for this. Take A common from R1. From A square, we can take A outside. From 1, if you take, it will become 1 by A. From AB, it is B. From C, it is, from AC, it is A, therefore C. Let us take B common from R2. It will become A, B plus 1 by B and C. I think you know what is the next term. Common from R3. It will become A, B and C plus 1 by C. Now let us write R1 as R1 minus R2. A getting cancelled 1 by A, B will get cancelled minus 1 by E, C minus C is 0. Let us continue with this determinant. ABC is outside and inside you are having 1 by A minus 1 by 0 and all. Now let us try to have some zeros inside by doing some column operation or row operations. Let us write R2 as R2 minus R3. R2 is changed now, R2 minus R3. Therefore in R2 it is A minus A 0. B plus 1 by B minus B, B getting cancelled 1 by B. C minus R 1 by C, therefore minus 1 by C. Now let us multiply the column 1 with A. Column 1 is having 1 by A, 0 and A. We will multiply it by A. When you multiply it by any number, then the value of determinant changes. Therefore, you have to divide by the same number. For ABC upon A, in the first column, 1 by A multiplied by A is 1. 0 multiplied by A is 0. A multiplied by A is A square. Once again, we are multiplying the second column by B. Second column by B. Therefore, minus 1 by B into B is minus 1. 1 by B into B is 1. B into B is B square. As you got the idea now, the third column is multiplied by C. 0 into C is 0. Minus 1 by C into C is minus 1. C plus 1 by C multiplied by C is C square plus 1. ABC by ABC getting cancelled. We are writing C2 as C2 minus C1 to make it as 0 for minus 1 of minus 1 plus 1 is 0 and 1 plus 1 is 0, then A square plus B square. Now you expand with respect to R1. 1 into No need to worry about the remaining two zeros. When you expand it, you will get c square plus 1 minus of minus a square minus b square, which is nothing but 1 plus a square plus b square plus c square. Well, here actually little bit we have to do it in another way because the right hand side is not a product of factors. Question number 15. We are given a matrix A. We have to find what is determinant of Ka, whether it is K into determinant A, K square or K cube into 3K. Let's take one example now. We have taken one determinant now. We are multiplying it by K. K means what is the meaning? You know that the matrix is multiplied by K. A is multiplied by K. Every element will be multiplied. Therefore, if you take K common from each row, first row, second row, third row, then you will get K cube. Therefore, the answer is K cube into determinant A. Therefore, the answer is C. Question number 16. Which of the following is correct? Determinant is a square matrix. Determinant is a number of associated matrix. Then determinant is a number associated to a square matrix, or none of this. By a definition, to every square matrix of order n, we can associate a number called determinant, which is Aij is the element of A. Therefore, the C is the correct answer. That is, the determinant is a number associated to square matrix. It is not associated with a matrix. Determinant is not a matrix first, but it is a number associated with a square matrix.